Before I spent any money on BlastProof, Shield, I wanted to actually understand what I was buying. So I did the digging, and that's what this is. Welcome to CritiqLab. No sponsored takes, no padding, just what I found. The problem with grid-down survival isn't just the threat of an EMP or a blackout. It's that there's so much conflicting information about how to address it that most people end up paralyzed, or just cycling through expensive gear options that only half work. BlastProof, Shield is positioned as a more targeted solution. Here's whether that's actually true. Here's the mechanism. BlastProof, Shield works by applying old-world Amish-style methods to modern off-grid survival. The reason most modern prepper guides underdeliver is they target the wrong layer. They tell you to buy $5,000 solar panels and high-tech gadgets, which produces temporary safety at best if an EMP fries the circuits. This takes a different approach: zero electricity food preservation, manual water filtration, and grid-free heating. More precise, less noise. That's the theory. And the practice seems to hold up. 3 things came up when I broke this down. First, the DIY Faraday Shield. This is the one most people overlook, but it's actually what makes protecting your essential small electronics, like emergency radios, possible at all, using cheap items you already own. Second, the zero refrigeration storage. This is consistent with what historical research suggests about long-term food and heat-sensitive medicine preservation without power. Third, the low-tech home security layouts. Minor on its own, but it compounds with the other 2 to keep looters away from your property without relying on cameras or alarms. If the mechanism works the way the evidence suggests, here's the realistic progression. Within the first 1 to 2 weeks of practicing the basic water and heating techniques, you notice a massive drop in your baseline anxiety. That tends to compound into true off-grid capability over several weeks as you build out your physical supplies. And with consistency, you get the quiet confidence of knowing you can lead and protect your family when the rest of the neighborhood panics. This isn't a straight line, but the direction is consistent. The protocol is straightforward. You read the modules and test 1 physical skill per week. It fits into a normal weekend routine without friction. The timeline that comes up most is 3 to 4 weeks for meaningful results. That is not a caveat, just how cumulative mechanisms work. Earlier is anecdotal, later is where the data gets consistent because you've actually practiced the skills with your own 2 hands. One data point worth including: they offer a 60-day money-back guarantee. I treat that as a proxy for product confidence. Companies don't offer meaningful refund windows on things they know don't work. It also means your downside is capped. For an analytical decision, that matters. If the mechanism makes sense to you, and the problem I described matches where you are, the link to the official page is in the description. Direct link, no resellers. Read through their breakdown, cross-reference what I've said, and make the call. You've got the picture now. That's the full breakdown. I've laid out what the evidence suggests. The rest is your call.